Right, back on the MX5, and as I mentioned before, I want to get rid of this bit of rear metal which isn't needed. So let's do some cutting. That's better. A lot neater. And a lot of metal on the floor. As well as cutting off all this metal, I've now cut down the back bumper to the minimum level that hides all the metal, which I know these MX5 half bumpers are common. I would say that's less than half actually. It's yeah, there's not much bumper left in all honesty. Shame all it's got to show for it at the back is like a weedy little diff, but hey. Lightweight, and more to the point, it's not a fucking big parachute anymore. Right, just here with the MX5 again, and today isn't much work. I mean, you saw last night when I chopped the bumper down and removed that excess metal, so it looks like that now, which to be honest I much prefer. But this video is mostly going to be asking you lot for a bit of help, advice on what I should get and what I shouldn't, because yeah, I've built a fair few drift MX5s and I had that crazy Cosy one, but I'm never one for buying loads and loads of parts for them, so I don't know what's best. So I want your lot's opinion on a few things, mostly underneath suspension and stuff. But anyway, on to the questions. Suspension, what coilovers, what brand, what ones should I get? I really don't know for these cars. I got loads, there's loads of options, but I don't know what's best. Pretty simple one to ask, but if anyone's got any suggestions, crack on. I'm going to polybush the entire car, like front and rear, everything. I've seen a fair few kits and they're not that much money, but has anyone got any suggestions? You know, recommendations for them doing it themselves? Anti-roll bars. It's got the standard skinny rear and the normal front at the moment. Are they worth changing for bigger ones on these? I have no clue. And if so, does anyone have any suggestions on which? Next, this fucking weird brace that a lot of these MX5s haven't even got. Are they worth changing for a better one? I know there's lots of like different bracing you can buy for these. I don't know if any of them are worth actually doing anything with. So again, recommendations on if it's worth it, and you know, which ones would be much appreciated. Apart from that, you know, engine and everything's sorted. Turbo, I've got a turbo at the moment, so I'll probably end up just using that for now. Engine, well, you know what I'm doing with that. Gearbox, I know. Diff, this is a 1.8 diff. I'm going to it's already welded, so I'm going to check it's been welded well, because often people weld them like shit, but providing it's been welded well, then job done. I'll probably better get in the concentric bolts. Better get new ones because they look rusty as fuck, but apart from that, that's good. I need different front knuckles for more lock and stuff, but I want to probably get my friend to do it because his ones are brilliant. That's Dory Professor, you probably look him up. Kevin Lee, he's good at them. I need a decent fuel pump, of course. I probably have got one, in all honesty, but it's a bit like the turbo and stuff. If somebody comes to me with some amazing fucking different thing that I'd not thought of, then I'd probably change my mind. Bodywork is obviously once all the wraps off and it's painted properly, so it's all one colour, it's all good. Inside, the fancy carbon seats, so they ain't going anywhere, and the steering wheel's fine. I'll probably add some kind of carpet. I don't know whether to add a whole new one because the old one's trashed, or maybe just some you know, floor mats. I don't want nothing, because wet feet on, you know, plain old bare metal can make for slippery pedals. So I might go for a whole carpet, I might not. I'm gonna need some gauges. That's another thing I didn't really think of. I'm gonna need some gauges, oil temp, boost, AFR, maybe oil pressure, but I generally, those three is the important ones. I'm gonna need to source, what else do I need to source? I'm gonna need an alley radiator. I just get standard, you know, MX5 fitment, because that should be fine if I get a decent aftermarket one. Again, I have no clue who sells what for these, in all honesty. And I'm gonna need an oil cooler. Again, I'm gonna have to be custom, really. Like an oil cooler off anybody, but the lines I'm gonna have to make custom. I've already got the bodywork sorted. So yeah, generally, the majority is there. It's just a lot of the suspension bits and bobs I'm not sure on. But that's just, I'm literally want you to reply, if you're, especially if you're MX5 people, with some advice here. Oh, that's the point. Rear cage. Again, TR Lane is the most obvious one I can think of, because they're probably the most famous people for making the rear cages. So a rear cage I need to buy. TR Lane, who else is there? I don't know, but again, if you've got good or bad experiences of them or whatever, then I need to know, because yeah, rear cage. Apart from that, I think it's all good. But yeah, I just really want to get on with it. Really want to get on with it, because it's going to be how fun the Volvo is, but with way more power and way less weight and far better suspension. It's just everything. It's the good bits of the Volvo, plus much better bits of everything else you could possibly imagine. So it's kind of, I'm 100% it's going to be amazing, because my Cosy one was amazing, and this is going to be way beyond that. It's just a case of getting it all finished. So there you go. Like I said, the exhaust is, the plans for that is already done, and that would be something we make, mixture of me and Thomas. I wanted to almost chuck it together, still stainless, but kind of not too fancy. But Thomas has already convinced me we must do it super duper nice, because he likes making things super duper nice. And but yeah, exhaust. Yeah, exhaust, yeah. It has to be lovely. But yeah, apart from that, also things like, I suppose, because these are really old, decent brake lines. I bet there's a brake line kit for these, isn't there? And that's actually, no, I didn't even think. Brakes are I had standard 1.8 brakes on the Cosy one, and they was okay. And these, I think these are just standard 1.6s at the moment. I wouldn't even know what the difference is. But should I get something better? What's the upgrade options for these things? I want to stick to 15-inch wheels, so I can't go to some big brake kit I don't even need. But what's my options? I genuinely don't know. But obviously with a 2.5 litre big turbo, 400 horsepower plus engine in a very light chassis, it's going to need some stopping. And I'm not sure, even with great pads, that the standard discs will be the one. But we'll see. But yeah, I need to check what diff ratio this is as well, so I work out the gearing, because my Cosy one had Cosy rear diff and gearbox, and it happily pulled like 165 odd mile an hour, like real speed, not speedo. This I don't know, so I'm going to check the diff ratio and see. I mean, I'm happy either way, because it's so light. Even if I had really long gearing, it'd be a rocket. If I had shorter gearing, it'd be even more of a bloody rocket. It just won't have the top speed. I kind of want to know out of my own interest, but apart from that, not too fussed, because my Corolla is going to be the 200 mile an hour type of car. This is just my hooligan wagon. But yeah, cheers for watching this. And what I want from you now, more than anything else, is your advice. So comment, please, on your experience, or tag people you know of MX5s that's messed with them a lot. You know, and you know any MX5 tuners? Tag them as well. They know people who track MX5s and stuff. Tell me what bits I'm meant to be buying, because I'm not afraid to say I have not that much experience on what to buy for these cars, even though I've owned about bloody 6 of them. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.